welcome back. Damn, Brad.
It's windy.
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah, what the hell? All right, man. Welcome back, everybody, to the Nerdcore Live Show. It is a Wednesday night, which means that we have to do this early because I'm not going to be here the next couple of days.
We're not in Kansas anymore, Toto.
Of course, this is the Nerd You're going to hear the show. Lots of our wonderful co-host, Brad and Yoda.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday night. And right now, I'm editing the banner, so don't mind me.
Yeah. Wednesday night, we're live because we cannot do our reviews this weekend as we are both going to be busy. I'm not going to be home. I'm going to be out of the country. I won't even be available to get on a laptop or something.
You know what that means when he's out.
No, that doesn't mean that you get to fucking do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah. No.
What it means, right?
You learned your fucking lesson from last time. No, you don't get to do that. But yeah, we're gonna be busy, so I gotta make sure that we do this before we, don't have a chance to do anything. Oh my god, Red! Don't do that to me, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sorry. Ooh. Brad, we just did our review of what's it called?
No regrets.
No regrets for our youth.
No regrets.
Yeah. But I know I already asked you this on that review, but how are you doing?
I'm doing well, as long as I don't get blown away by the wind.
Yeah, what's going on, Brad? You have a storm coming in?
Yeah, there's supposed to be rain or snow this weekend. So, yeah, I hopefully don't drive through that.
I hope not, Brad. Yeah. Yeah, because you got a 6-hour drive tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I got a 6-hour drive north, so yay.
The things you do for work, Brad.
No kidding. Yeah, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
I've driven before, so
wish you all the luck, man. I hope
Thank
that that you don't have to go through terrible conditions in the road. But just been working on this stuff, right, Brad? We've just been chilling. We did our review and everything went pretty well.
yeah, I thought it did. I mean, we landed on the same number, so we must have been watching the same movie in some form.
Sometimes we land on the same numbers.
Yeah, sometimes we're on the opposite end of the spectrum, just
Yeah.
because I don't think most of the time I find something way more entertaining than Raul does.
Yeah.
And then there's Mulholland Drive, which I just don't understand.
Yeah. But we were talking about off air that we really are almost done with this, man. Like we are almost done with Kurosawa, which which begs the question of what's next? What's the next one that we're gonna do a complete review of his filmography?
I mean, we're almost done with Lynch too. I guess we could.
Yeah. High winds in my neck of the woods. Definitely don't want to get blown away. Shut the fuck up, Stacy. Oh my god. What's up, Stacy? How you doing, man? We missed you on Patreon.
Yeah, Stacy, Mr. Kurosawa review. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up with that?
Yeah. How you doing, man?
What if words?
Brad.
I think words are gonna show up.
I watched the first 20 minutes or 10, 15 minutes of Daredevil Born Again episode 1.
I didn't ask this on the last one. Does it live up to the Netflix version?
Brad, I watched the first 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, first 10, 15. Is there blood? Is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. And so how can I say this? I barely watched the first 10 minutes, so I'm not gonna be here and tell you oh man, this is amazing or anything. I will say, from the first 10 minutes that I've watched, it definitely feels like a continuation of the Netflix series.
Okay. All right. Well, that's something.
Which is what it's supposed to be.
Okay. Is it supposed to be? Is it supposed to be a continuation?
It picks up literally 5 years after, I think.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I thought Well, then again, they always keep shit under the wraps, so I didn't really know what the hell they were planning.
Yeah. Yeah, this is like, hold on, it tells me right here. It picks up a year. Yeah, a year after the series, several years after Daredevil Born Again begins several years after the events of Daredevil 2015 to 2018, and a year after blind lawyer Matt Murdock stopped his activities as the mass vigilante Daredevil.
Oh.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's like picks up like a couple years after.
All right. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know what they were gonna go with.
Yeah. But I am. I made it through the first 10 minutes. Definitely. Should hear your thoughts when you get to. My questions are simple. How long was the Echo cameo? And were there tracksuit mafia guys, bro? No, bro. I don't know because I only watched 10 minutes, bro.
10 minutes, yeah, but here's I'm kind of hoping for the tracksuit mafia.
Yeah. The tracksuit mafia, probably one of the best things about Hawkeye, and I don't even like that show that much.
Yep.
But yeah, man, I'm gonna finish watching that after we get off here. But I don't know, Brad. I'm so worried about this series, Brad. And I you know what, man? Like I have a reason to be, okay?
Yeah.
So, I just hope it's good. Yeah. But
Here's hoping. So
ears open.
I'm gonna try to watch it sometime this weekend.
Yeah. Well, you got a friend coming over, so
Yeah, so we'll see.
yeah. At least it's not like 3 episodes of drop, it's just 2.
Yeah. Agreed. Are they all 30-minute or are they like an hour? Because I forget what
Brad,
the Netflix ones were.
You know damn well that these episodes are not going to be like an hour long.
Oh, okay. That's right.
Yeah. This is Disney we're talking about.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I forgot.
Episode 2 is cool. You don't even give me a time.
Fuck you.
Yeah, of course not, right? You don't give me a time on this either. Fuck you. Yeah. How long are these fucking episodes?
Long enough, apparently.
Yeah.
Do we get a walk of shame from Daredevil?
Ha, no.
Do we get a She-Hulk cameo? Him just walking away from that?
No. I will say though, I'll say this. The theme song, banger. Just like the one from Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Loved it. No worries. It'll end with an credit sequence of She-Hulk doing the walk of shame this time. Yeah. In an Echo cameo, huh?
Jesus.
We
have the worst ideas. Print it.
Yeah, we do. But
Dear God.
yeah, Brad. Let's get into this, man.
Yeah,
so
before I get blown away.
Yeah, we're gonna be discussing Invincible season 3, episode 6. So, I can't believe we're almost done with the season, which is just stop making these 8-episode seasons, man. They suck. You know,
You remember
television.
when you remember when like Sopranos was like 16 episodes or something?
Like not even 16, bro. It was like 20 something, bro.
Yeah, it was something ridiculous.
Yeah.
I think Entourage was even like 15 or something.
Yeah. Who the fuck knows why we gotta do this bullshit? You know, of 8 episodes. Like we used to have 20 to 30 episode seasons, Brad.
It's all about the money. All about
Well,
the
yeah,
money
because they
and
don't want to pay writers more, so they
Yeah.
like, okay, what's it called? Cap it at like these 8, you know. So
it's all about the money and the ADHD. They think people don't have the
the capacity, right?
capacity or for
Yeah.
the attention needed.
And if they're then, but look, you know, I'll say this: you know, make 8 episodes, like at least make them a fucking hour. You know, but whatever. I digress. Brad, let's go ahead and get into this thing. And I love that we have our patrons. It's going on the bottom instead of this one. But as always, if you have not watched season 3, episode 6 of Invincible, you should probably get out of here if you care about spoilers. But if you don't care about spoilers or you've already seen the episode, go and stay. This is your one and only spoiler warning, and it is in effect after these words from our sponsors in a 5, 4, 3, 2, What? Today's episode of the Nerdcore Live Show is brought to you by SeatGeek. Whether you want to see your favorite band, sports team, or comedian, SeatGeek has you covered. We're proud to be partnering with SeatGeek to offer you $10 off with code TheNerdCore. That's $10 off your first order at SeatGeek.com with code THENERDCORPS. So take a seat at your next live event with SeatGeek. Thank you. Now let's get back to today's video.
Banana
bread. Yeah, season 3, episode 6, titled All I Can Say Is I'm Sorry. A powerful new figure challenges Mark's idea of what's right and what's wrong. Ray approaches Rex with a big life decision. And, of course, our episode is directed by Jason Zarek. And supervised directors are Dan Duncan and Sean O'Neill. Based on the comic by Robert Kirkman, Cory Walker, and Ryan Otley. Episode is written by Ross Strack and Simon Rakiolpa. Episode stars Stephen Yeun, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons, Zazie Beetz, Sterling K. Brown, Christian Convery, Patrice Covington, Cliff Curtis, Greg Griffin, Chris Dianamatopoulos, Daphne Dianamatopoulos, John DiMaggio, Heather Gonzalez, Gillian Jacobs, Luke McFarlane, Jason Mantzoukas, and more. Any trivia here? I doubt it. Last one didn't have any. Oh yeah, we do have some.
Oh, there. See?
Aaron Paul plays Powerplex, and Katie Mara previously played a husband and wife in the Black Mirror episode Beyond the Sea. Additionally, this season 3, episode 6 of Invincible, while Beyond the Sea was Black Mirror's season 6, episode 3. God damn, Brad. Much like Batman v Superman, when Invincible meets Powerplex, he says, "You want me? Here I am," which is the same thing Batman says right before he and Superman begin fighting. Well, he doesn't tell him. He says, "Do you bleed? You will." Like the episode he appears in Black Mirror Beyond the Sea, Aaron Paul's character loses his wife and son, literally and unintentionally by his own hands.
He also says Martha.
Yeah. All right, Brad. What are your initial thoughts on season 3, episode 6?
Season 3, episode 6 is the best episode of the season.
100%.
My opinion. Funnily enough, the villain, I guess the villain in this case, with probably the worst name. I don't like Powerplex, the name.
You don't like the name Powerplex?
I don't like the name Powerplex, but beyond that, I think the character, it might be one of the better villains to show his face in the season, or maybe even the whole show, just because he's a very conflicted villain, and one who's been spurned by Invincible for good reason, killed his sister and his niece, and he said he thinks Invincible and of course Omni-Man are the reason, which he's not necessarily wrong. And we've seen this before in other superhero movies. We saw, when Superman was going through buildings and Batman was pissed off at him, and it kind of in the same vein of that. But I do think this goes into like questions like, when Invincible saves people, is he really saving people? And I think this really gets into Invincible's head. Is he the good guy? I mean, it's making him question stuff, and it makes him, and he doesn't, at the end of it, he doesn't kill Powerplex. Because I think he knows that just breeds more animosity, more hate, and I think he sees that Powerplex kind of is in his own hell that he makes at the end when he kills his wife and child, and I am very surprised they showed the child. That was pretty gruesome.
Yeah, bro. This is the best episode of the season, and quite honestly, this might be one of the best episodes of the series in general.
Yeah.
I love Powerplex is great. Lex Luger and Jim Duggan were an awesome team back in the 80s.
I can't deny that.
I love how much we are discovering in this episode. We're still learning a lot about these characters. we finally found out what his origin is of what's it called, Rexplode. Like, figure out that his parents abandoned him, right, Brad?
Yep.
Yep. And but even then, like, we're still kind of like growing with Oliver and him realizing, like, having these questions about Nolan, and like about how the people view Nolan, and him learning, remembering his past in Thraxium, or whatever the fuck he's from.
But I think also we catch glimpses in these episodes of Invincible, and he does act like his father.
He does.
Which is a problem. Like at the bowling alley, when he sees Powerplex going off and asking for him, and he just straight up ignores him. And he's like, I ain't dealing with that today. We'll let the other superheroes. Which then we get the comedy strewn, Shapesmith, where he just gets electrocuted and the cops calling him thinking he's dead.
Yep. Yep.
So at least that was kind of... I do like when they throw a little bit of humor into these, because if you didn't, these would be very, extremely sad episodes.
They would be.
The little bit of humor from Shapesmith was nice to kind of break it up a little. But then it goes back. And I mean, this is one of the deeper episodes, I think, that just definitely makes you think of Invincible and how the conflict he must have in himself, especially when it's shown right to his face.
Yeah. The core of this episode, and the best thing about this episode, it is this conflict between Powerplex and Invincible, and what it poses, not just for Invincible, but for Mark.
Yeah.
Is he
really the good guy?
Is he really the good guy? And he's starting to realize maybe these things that Cecil was trying to make him realize in his own way, of like, yes, you saved the world. I mean, you saved this city and the planet, but through those actions of yours, you cause harm to people.
Yeah, and there's 1,000 people's names on walls that were killed because of your actions.
Yeah.
And that breeds a lot of animosity, and it just so happens there was another, person with powers who wanted to take him up on it.
Yeah. And it's the same thing he tells Oliver. He's like, yes, you remember your dad. You remember your dad as this great person, but everybody else has a different opinion on him because they had a different experience with him. It doesn't make them, it doesn't change the person that you had, but it just means that everybody else has a different experience with him. And it's like, it's a really hard thing for Oliver to understand. Mm-hmm. Like, it's hard for him to understand that two things can be right at once. It can be right that he had a great father.
I mean, even not being a kid, I think that's just a really hard thing to kind of understand. Is like, we see it all the time with filmmakers or musicians, artists, and their work of art is great, but the individual is not. Yeah.
Yeah. And, it's hard for Oliver to understand, but it's also hard for Mark to explain it, because it's like, he knows what his dad was like.
In both forms. He knows what his dad was like in both forms.
Yeah. And, and to me, part of it also reads as Mark is like, he's kind of jealous that Oliver got to have the good part of Nolan after he realized what he messed up in.
Yeah.
So, and then, of course, you put that up against, with what Powerplex has going on, who is just, this person who is just so consumed by his rage and his hate and just sadness and grief of everything that's happened to him. And he wants to make Invincible pay for that.
Well, and what's bad is he ends up bringing his wife and child into it.
And he still somewhat blames Mark for that.
Yeah.
Which is like, dude, it's not Mark's fault that you just fucking electrocuted the shit out of your fucking family.
Yeah. But it shows the cycle of hate.
yeah,
I mean, when one feels wronged, and maybe rightfully so, but he continues that, and just deep down in his core, he there is no, there is no between him and Invincible. There's not going to be a parlay. There's not going to be a white flag flown. It's always
yeah.
just going to be hate.
He leads to suffering, Brad, like Master Yoda said. And I found this episode to be so good, man. I loved what we did with them, and of course, man, Rexplode and his girl break up. Well, they don't even break. They weren't even together to begin with, but
Yeah, I mean, but Rex was trying.
yeah, but she has a point, Brad. Like she doesn't. This isn't normal to her. Like she doesn't want this to be her life, and
And she wants to quit. She wants to move on.
she wants to move on, and it sucks because Rex, this is the only thing that Rex has known. It's the only part of his identity that he understands, right? And he doesn't, want to let go of that. He doesn't know who he'd be without the Guardians or being a superhero.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
no, but that's his identity. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what he's always known.
Yeah.
And he thinks without that identity, then he'd be nothing.
Yeah. What did you think about the the what's it called the training the training session with the what was the name of that fucking hero again? What's it called, the villain? The one that Mark makes Oliver fight that apparently
The elephant.
yeah, the elephant.
I'm like, this is a total ripoff of Rhino from Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But I just like how the elephant, like, he knows what's going on. And he's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm a good villain. Like, why are you using me to train with? And then, like, Oliver just beats the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I like how Mark was like, yeah, I trained with the elephant too. And it's just like, what the fuck?
And then his what's it called and then Debbie's boyfriend just absolutely
In the
having a
car.
heart attack because he's flying in the air.
But I do like the back and forth between Mark and Oliver.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's true brothers from what I can see. It's like
yeah.
well, he's not listening to me, and then Eve is like, just let me handle it. It's like, look,
It's like, who
Oliver.
wants to listen to their older brother?
Yeah, exactly. Like, look, Oliver. Like, we gotta do the training. After the training, we can get burgers, but make sure he doesn't destroy the burger joint. They're like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
And Mark's just like, was that fucking easy? He's like, nobody wants to listen to their brothers.
Yeah, come on. I love that. And it's one of the best parts about this season is just how much we're having of development between Oliver and Mark in just that relationship that you see. Because, like, at first, in season 2, when he realizes that he has a brother, he's kind of, like, on the fence about even wanting to be involved in this. And it takes, Nolan convincing him to keep him safe. So it's nice to see this change where he's embracing having a little brother and he's, training him and he wants him to, to be a good example.
Yeah.
Let's be a good example for him.
I think that's very good.
Yeah. And we also realized, here we go,
Yeah.
Brad.
I was gonna ask you. I like that ending right there.
I thought we were fucking done with this guy.
Yeah, they were doing this in season 2.
Brad.
Now he's like got his head in a jar or something.
Yeah. Angstrom is back
Woo.
and he's got an army of Invincibles.
Invincible marks. He's got a
Yeah.
army marks.
Which, I would be bothered by this if it wasn't just how he has a bunch of different Invincibles there. So that's really interesting to see what the fuck's gonna happen with that. But Brad, I thought we were done with this, Brad.
Yeah, I thought we were done with him. I thought it was kind of,
But I told you, Brad. I
ended.
told you. It's
Well,
gonna come.
we kind of saw the arm in the golden chair, and we were like, it could be Angstrom, and it was.
Yeah. So what do you think about Angstrom being back, Brad?
Look, man, I'm not too hyped about it. I didn't really enjoy the character in the last one.
Me neither.
I thought like you said, I thought we were kind of done. But we'll see. We'll see okay, he's gonna have multiversal marks, kind of like multiversal Spider-Man, and we'll see what goes from that. Maybe he's like the Madam Web of all this.
Yeah. A web connects it all.
But
Yeah. Oh man, but what's it called? The Brad. Other than that, anything else that we didn't bring? Oh, well, I mean, so he tries to go to jail to talk to what's it called to him, but
Powerplex doesn't want to have anything to do with it.
nope, he doesn't want anything to do. He's stuck in his way, Brad. And he an army of marks, an AEW Dark Elevation crowd. But yeah, he doesn't want anything to do with it, and he pretty much tells him like, no matter if you catch me, keep me here. What I'm going to make sure that you get your what's it called you get your what's coming for you.
Which I again, I don't like the name of the villain, but I think Powerplex. I think overall he's the most complex villain we've had in a while.
Oh yeah.
In the show.
Yeah.
So it brings something to the table. So I'm looking forward to seeing hopefully more Powerplex.
Yeah. Also, what a fucking powers, by the way, bro. Like, holy shit. Like it doesn't matter how much you beat him.
Yeah, he just grows
gets stronger.
Yeah, well, which is kind of funny because, he's turning that energy of like punches, and is making electricity out of it. And so he just siphons it off, and then creates big bangs, basically.
Yeah.
And he's able to fly with it. Did you see that he's able to jump and fly with that?
Yeah. Brad, do you think that with all these things that Mark is realizing now, do you think he's going to go back to Cecil?
I don't know. I think Mark's hard-headed, so if he goes back to Cecil, it'll be at the very last episode of the season.
Yeah.
That's what I think. I think he'll probably have to be forced to it. He'll have to, like, lose and then realize, maybe his way isn't the best way, and then go over to Cecil again.
Yeah. There was something else that I needed to bring up, Brad, that I forgot.
Oh, Griffin.
Fuck. Brad. Oh, what? Oh, hey, Griffin, how you doing? Hi, Griffin.
Hi, Griffin. Long time.
Long time no see.
Long time.
Oh, Brad, what was the last? Oh my God, it was something else that I had to bring up. Oh, that's right. Rudy and Amanda, Brad.
Oh yeah, the belt.
Yes, he finally made something that's gonna keep Amanda from dying.
We think,
right?
I mean, like, anytime anything ever good happens, I'm like, oh, something's gonna go wrong. Something's gonna change.
Yeah.
Like, this has got to affect her in different ways.
Yep.
That's my feeling on it. Like it irradiates her or something, and she'll get like childhood cancer. That's where my mind goes of awfulness that can happen with this show that he didn't like predict.
Yeah. And I think that's it, right? I think that's it.
I think that's about it. I think we covered.
Yeah.
Other than the horrible bowling that was going on.
Yeah. Horrible. Oh, and Mark and getting to know his ex's new boyfriend, who they actually end up hitting it off pretty well.
Yeah. They had some seance dog in common.
Yeah. So, Brad, I agree with you, Brad. This is the best episode of season 3. It's complex. It includes some really good character development here, and I was in love with this juxtaposition between Powerplex and Invincible, and I love that it literally was just a retelling of Batman v Superman.
Yeah, pretty much. Probably a little better. But but then and then Raul was gonna say, then Angstrom came on the screen and that just tanked the score.
It didn't tank it, but
No,
like
luckily they left it right at the end.
it's still a near perfect episode to me. Brad, this is my highest rating of the season so far. I'm gonna go ahead and give season 3, episode 6 a 9.5 out of 10. I love this episode. It is near perfect. This just was everything I was waiting for in the season to surprise me, and I just found this to be such an incredible episode. By the way, if you guys do not remember what my scores have been, I did an 8 on the first episode, 7.5 on the second, 8.25 in the third, and it's been four and 5 have been 8.25s as well, and this one has jumped up to that 9.5. I've loved it. I've been liking this season a lot, but this episode to me was truly just the best part of this season, and I just amazed by what they did with this character of Powerplex. Brad, what's your final verdict?
Well, if we're going through scores, if you remember correctly, I think the first 3 I gave an 8. The fourth I gave 8.25. The fifth I gave an 8.5. And we are actually going to agree
Again
on two again today. That's like unheard of, because this episode does deserve a 9.5 out of 10.
Yep. Yeah, and then Angstrom came out.
And Angstrom came out and tanked the whole thing.
Oh man. Oh, the only thing that keeps me from fucking just being fully annoyed by that thing is the whole army of marks.
Yeah, which I'm wondering, like, what kind of powers do they all have?
Yeah. And at the end, you could hear the would scream, Angstrom, why did you say that name? What does the name mean? Oh my god. But that concludes our review of season 3, episode 6 of Invincible. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Nerdcore.com is our website. Twitter at the Nerdcore, Instagram at the Nerdcore, Letterboxd at the Nerdcore, TikTok at the Nerdcore, Patreon.com/Nerdcore, Discord link is in the description below. Subscribe to the channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss another review on the channel. Leave a like on the video. 5 stars on your favorite podcast app of choice, and follow us on that app. All of that helps us out so freaking much. And of course, what's your favorite episode of the season so far? Tell us in the YouTube comments. What did you think about this one? Talk to us all about Invincible in the YouTube comments or on our Discord. All that would help us out with some cool engagement for you guys. And of course, thank you to our patrons. Without them, none of this is possible. Thank you to our chatters today as well. We had Griffin and Stacy. You guys are awesome. Thank you guys for being the wonderful people that you are. Brad, that's it for us this week. We'll be back next week. We've got two Kurosawa reviews coming to you guys next week. We got Daredevil season 1, Daredevil Born Again season 1, episodes 1 and 2 season premiere, and we have episode 7 review of Invincible. All that coming to you guys next week. Yep, I knew that was about to go off. But without further ado, Brad, let's go ahead and get this shit out of here.
All right, Raul. Thank you for being the host as always. Thank you to Stacy and Griffin for joining us in chat today. Thank you to our listeners out there, our Patreon supporters. We appreciate each and every one of you. And to end this episode, all I'm going to say is bowling is overrated. Young Yoda out.